This is audio slice number 27, recorded November 14th, 2019. Haven't done one of these in a while, but it's always good to get back in the swing of doing them. Just been a little busy in these last few weeks and months. The big story today is not the ongoing impeachment inquiry on President Trump, and from where I sit politically, I didn't think the first day went well for them. But we have another shooting, this time at a school called Saugus High School in Santa Clarita, California. Now, I am recording this at 1:13 in the afternoon on November 14th. This started to break around 11 in the morning. Now, that's Eastern times. It's 1:13 Eastern time right now, or it's gotten to 1:14 yet? Nope. What's happened is this. There was a shooting at this school. The shooter was caught and in custody, but it looks like that there were at least a few students who took gunshot wounds. As of this moment, they know of one dead, and they know a couple of others are in critical. Now, I have to point out that the reports are pretty much in the early stages, so we don't know the whole story yet on these school shootings. Shootings in schools is kind of a sore spot with me, because I went to Largo High School in Florida in 1980, from 1985 to 89, graduated on time. And one day in February 10th, 1988, we had a school shooting, one of the early school shootings, at least before, they became commonplace, and you would hear one like about once every few months or so. We had the school shooting at Pinellas Park, which is a neighboring school. I should point out, if you are new to the audio slices that I do, I grew up in Largo. Largo is west of Tampa in Florida, north of St. Pete, south of Clearwater, and Pinellas Park is closer to St. Petersburg. Where I live now, I'm a few miles away from Pinellas Park High, and Pinellas Park High is a relatively newer school that started in the 70s, whereas Largo High goes back to like the early 20th century. But there was a school shooting at Pinellas Park High in 1988, February 10th, killed two teachers. I'm sorry, did not kill two teachers, killed one teacher, injured another teacher, and the guy who did it brought a gun to school, and I guess he had a domestic dispute with a girlfriend or something. I forget the exact details. Now, keep in mind, it's been 31 and a half years plus. So I didn't look it up on Google or St. Pete Times archives before I started doing this audio slice, and maybe I should have. But the teachers in question, I'm not going to name names, but I know who they are. The teacher who passed away was an assistant principal at Largo, and the teacher that was wounded was a teacher at Largo High School as well at one point, and was the wife of a teacher that was at Largo High at the time. So these school shootings, yes, I hate to see these mass shootings, but they seem to be inevitable. I kind of find it weird that they always seem to be happening in places where the city governments and the state governments, either or the other, are Democrat. That always seems to be the case, although over the years there have been a few exceptions, but I always find it a little weird that either on the city level or the state level you have governments run by the Democrats, and it always seems to be happening there. You never hear of a school shooting in a place that is either run on the city level or the state level by Republicans, or at least not as frequently. Now, that's not always the case. It just seems to be the case a majority of the time. So yeah, but what are you going to do about gun shootings? If and I probably said this before in one of these audio slices, if you got rid of the guns, then these kids or whoever a mass killer would be would just go and find another blunt instrument. They would find a knife. They would find a fork. They would find something that they could make that is sharp. So if you ban all the guns, they'll just go to something else. Or, worse comes to worse, you ban all the guns. That means, there will still be people around that, and I think I said this back in August when the El Paso shooting happened. You're still going to have people around who know how to make guns. The thought of how to make a gun does not go away. You will still have the materials to make some sort of gun. You just go back to like the 19th century. There were guns back, Civil War days, Revolutionary War days. The founding of our country, the Revolutionary War. That was done with muskets. So if you take a big name automatic rifle away, or you take guns away from the people, on both the pro-gun and the anti-gun side, what you're going to have left are people who, will still have guns, illegal as they may be, and they will have all the power because all these people whose guns you have taken away can't fight back. So I just think getting rid of guns, you'll see a lot of talk from the California lawmakers. Some very prominent names in California that are in Congress and a part of the impeachment, like Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell, and you got Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House. You got a lot of big names leading the impeachment charge, which is another matter entirely, which I'll get into some other day. I don't think Trump is as safe as a lot of people on the right side of the aisle think he is, because you have a lot of Senate Republicans who do not answer to Trump, and they're just quietly waiting and hoping the trial gets to them so they could turn their backs on Trump. That's just my suspicion. That's just my theory on that real quick. But it is a day where we're looking at another school shooting, and I'm sure there will be hue and cry from the lawmakers. Oh, take away the guns, take away the guns. Well, you don't want that. Trust me. So this has been my blog entry, my audio slice for November the 14th. I haven't done this in a while, so glad to be back, at least for today. I'm doing this from my computer in my bedroom here in Pinellas Park, Florida, and I will catch you all again real soon. By the way, very nice day today, about 78, 79 degrees, a little cooler than what we would normally have, and we're going to get cooler weather just in time for this week before Thanksgiving week coming up. So I wish you all well, and I will catch you real soon. Bye-bye for now.